Hey guys, so a couple episodes back, I did that really fun wartime oatmeal sausage with you all, and I'm definitely going to be doing more of that. But when I got to researching, obviously I wanted to explore different cultures, and specifically I wanted to look into the Chinese culture. I think what I really ended up finding out was one, wartime recipes are not they're not as publicized for all different cultures, and I think a lot of the times what I would end up getting mixed up with was Chinese famine recipes with wartime recipes, and even that there wasn't too much of it. Those recipes were not easily found. Like normally I found them in academic texts, so they weren't necessarily recipes so much as describing what people would eat. And so with this recipe, I think what I ended up finding out, a lot of the foods that the Chinese ate during famine or during times of need, they have really carried over to present day. You see a lot of the dishes that really stretch out that food by adding water, by making things thicker so that your stomach remains fuller. A lot of those things have been brought to the present. And of course nowadays you can add like meats and you can add different toppings to it, but that kind of that base, the stuff that people still eat every day for breakfast and for lunch, those things seem to remain. So the recipe that I'm going to do with you guys today is a millet porridge. Now, if you guys know anything about China, usually the northern parts, they have a lot more grains. They work with a lot more wheat. And then the southern parts, they work with a lot more rice. So millet is one of those grains that are pretty readily available. It has nice protein, it has good nutrition in it. And so this recipe mixes ground up millet with ground up beans to provide that extra protein and that extra nutrition. And it really goes, because it is a porridge, to really stretching out that dollar. And it's a very delicious, very hearty, very comforting type of recipe. So I really hope you guys all enjoy this one. So the recipe starts off with a couple of grounded ingredients. I'm going to have some toasted sesame seeds as well as some roasted soybeans that I'm all going to grind up. And that's going to add a nice nutty flavor to the already nutty millet, but it's also going to add some nice protein in there as well. So now for the actual porridge, I have about 6 tablespoons of ground millet with 3 cups of water. Recipe is all going to be down below, and I'm just going to stir it to make sure that there are no lumps, and then bringing this slowly up to a boil to thicken everything. And then meanwhile, as that is happening, I have some soybean skins, as well as just some Chinese mustard greens. It's whatever greens that you want. About a cup and a half of each. And these are actually very typical ingredients that Chinese stalls will put in to this millet as well. So it's not something that I'm substituting, meat for. These are typical fillings for it.
So, something I did not know about millet is that it does go rancid fairly quickly. So, if you grind it too early, if you don't keep your grains in the freezer, it does have a tendency to become bitter. It has these tannins in it that make it that way, a little bit like quinoa. So, just kind of be careful of that. And at this point, I've probably boiled it just for a couple of minutes just so that it thickens up. I'm going to add in a little bit of salt for flavor as well as our filling ingredients. And I mean, this is so simple. This is just basic porridge. But what I will do with this after the greens wilt a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of white pepper. I'm going to add a pinch of 5-spice. And then because we were saying that millet can be a little bit bitter, it does tend to be a bit bitter, I found, just a little bit of sugar just to adjust to that flavor. But I think what you'll find is really that this porridge is quite nutty. There's very nice development in flavor in this, so it's a little bit different from your normal rice porridge. I'll usually see this porridge topped off with some roasted peanuts and then also a little bit more of that roasted ground soybean powder. I personally, I like to add maybe a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of the Changking vinegar. It's really nice in this. It really kind of elevates and brightens the flavor. But really just so comforting. It's different from just the rice porridge. I like this one a little bit better. It's nice and nutty. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this recipe. This one was a fun one to make and fun one to look into. As usual, if you want to see more recipes like this, remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys all again next time. Bye!